Hi. So I walked upstairs to walk into the main stage for the first time after my second day here. I've been manning an exhibition table downstairs for the last 2 days, and we got to the door, and I got asked if I could come on stage and talk to you guys because somebody had pulled out. So I've had a whole 7 minutes preparation time for this, so bear with me. As soon as my slides are ready, I'm going to stop apologizing for myself and start talking about something interesting. Is it going to work? I'll just wing it. All right, my name's Joanna, and I'm the founder and CEO of a startup called Riot. And what we're trying to do is change the way that people use technology to communicate. So if you think about all the ways we communicate with people we love at the minute, we send them text messages, or we WhatsApp them, or at the very best, we sit on video calls. And it's great that we can do that, and that technology has afforded us that, and that we can connect with people in these ways. But all these ways of connecting with people require active participation. You have to sit in front of your screen, or you have to sit and type messages into your device, and they don't let you feel connected to anybody. They miss out one of the fundamental aspects of the human relationship, which is another person's presence. So our first product's called Pillow Talk, and it connects people who are apart by using their heartbeats. So each person has a wristband they wear to bed at night, and a small speaker that you place inside your pillowcase. And the wristband picks up your real-time heartbeat and sends it to the other person's pillow. So when you place your head on your own pillow, you can hear the real-time heartbeat of your loved one. So the idea is that it's an intimate and engaging interaction between two people, regardless of how far apart they were. So we launched 2 weeks ago on Kickstarter. This is an old slide. We're almost at £50,000 in pre-orders in 3 weeks, which is good. But it didn't always look like that. So when I started the project, I was at university studying interaction design. And that was when I first realized that we do everything through a screen, and that communication has become about our relationships with our devices and not about our relationships with other people. So this was in 2010, so I had this idea, and I thought, right, I'll try making this. So this was the first image of my product that went out with my project. And I have no idea what slide's going to come next. So it looked like this at the time. So I had this idea, I built this prototype, took apart a polar, the wristband, the chest band you wear when you go jogging, and built this prototype and built this pillow that lit up and played a heartbeat. And it was only ever meant to be a concept, and that's all I thought it would be. And then this started to happen, and people started to email me and say, I love this, where can I buy this? This is what I need, this is what my relationship's been missing. And I thought, okay, I'm obviously onto something. I'll make this. Easier said than done. As I mentioned, it looked a lot like this. This was sort of the reaction I typically got when in 2010, when I wanted to make wearable technology and I wanted to think about new ways of communicating. So I walked out of university and decided I was going to start this company. And so I turned down 2 graduate jobs. Everyone said I was crazy. My parents almost pulled their hair out. And off I went to start this company. So fortunately, I was quite lucky. And about 2 weeks after I started the company, Technology Strategy Board, I think they're called Innovate UK now, gave me £25,000. So that kind of shut everybody up who had doubts. But what I didn't realize was I was still at the very beginning of a very long slog into making an idea I'd had into a real product. So when I look back, without meaning to sound really arrogant, I think I was just really ahead of the curve, and it was sort of before wearables were cool, it was before startups were cool, it was way before hardware was cool. So it's been a pretty long journey to get from that point to where I am today. So this is one of our first prototypes, which was where we used a ring sensor to pick up the heartbeat and sent it to the other person's pillow. So the technology in this worked quite well, but in 2010, Bluetooth Low Energy wasn't really mainstream, and we couldn't get the battery life to last long enough without the ring being a massive knuckle duster, so we had to give up on that pretty quickly. Then we moved to a wristband design, which worked a lot better, but turns out picking up a pulse from a wrist is quite tricky. And this was kind of before like the Jawbone devices, the Fitbit devices, all these, the Apple Watch, all these quantified self devices were doing it. So we were actually one of the first companies that solved the pulse detection on the wrist. So even once we'd solved this, we still had a mighty journey ahead of us. That's not that relevant. And then earlier on this year, we finally reached the point where you could start beta testing with users. So that's been really interesting. We've learned a lot of stories about how the good old adage about how users don't really know what they want. The earlier version of the product had a light in the pillow, and everybody was like, really wanted the light. And we made some beta testing kits, and we gave them to people, and shock horror, they hated having a light in their pillow. So the light went. Some of the interesting things that have come out of the user testing is that people are actually very open to exploring new ways to communicate. The product was originally designed for couples and long-distance relationships, but we're also seeing a lot of military families buying it, young children using it with their dads who are away. We've got children's hospitals in Germany contacting us about putting our technology into their incubation units to help ill children who can't be held by their parents have that connection with their parents. So this is what really interests us, and in terms of where technology is going, like how can we make it better and how can we make it richer? You know, we shouldn't just have to send little messages to connect with people. It's kind of strange if you think about it. A video call, like having a Skype video call, is the equivalent of coming home from work at night and saying to your partner, let's sit down opposite each other. When should we do it? 5:30. We'll sit down opposite each other and we'll talk about how our day went. Like, maybe some people do that. I don't do that. But it's kind of weird that that's what technology forces us to do. Technology doesn't let us come home and sit in the same room as somebody and just feel connected with them. We can't just experience somebody's presence. So we call it digital presence. And that's what Little Riot's setting out to do, is we want to create and explore new ways for people to feel connected with each other. We want people to touch things, to feel things, to be able to feel a sense of someone else's presence in a room, not have to just receive a push notification from them. Should we play slide roulette again? Oh, yeah. We've, whilst a lot of people, I mean, we've gathered a community of about 50,000 people. So the project started as my university project and ended up going viral on the internet. And we garnered this community of about 50,000 people who were like, oh, I really want to buy this, which is why I originally started the company. And for maybe not quite for every lover, there's a hater, but there are certainly some haters. This is a real email I got from somebody who said that my product's the dumbest thing they've ever seen and they'd rather set themselves on fire than use it. Don't know what it says about your product when someone would rather set themselves on fire than use it, but never mind. Obviously, these sort of people probably aren't quite ready to explore new ways to communicate, but the uptake we've seen so far in our crowdfunding campaign suggests otherwise. So what we're starting to see is people are ready for that shift towards a different way of communicating. And we've made that our mission. So over the next few years, that's what we want to do. So we're probably going to look at the sort of mother-baby market next. We've got some ideas in assisted living. We don't want to be a medical company. We're very much about communication, but we are seeing a lot of inquiries from hospitals about helping people feel connected to people who are ill or in incubation. So here it's taken 5 years from concept through to finally being a commercial product, but here it is. We launched 2 weeks ago. We are still on Kickstarter, so if you like the project or you like where technology is going, then consider visiting our campaign and backing us. This is just our first step into a new way for people to feel connected. And I know some people think that Pillow Talk is a bit niche, or that the use case for now is a bit niche, which is probably true. But I invite you all to open your minds to what technology could do for us, and the ways we could feel connected to other people, and the experiences we could have in the future. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't really want to live in a future where we're constantly tethered to our devices and only communicate with the people we love via a series of short messages. Yeah, I think that's all I've got. Thank you very much.